Oh man, it is good to be home. I've been filming in fucking hotel lobbies and cars lately, so I'm glad to be back here with my babies. All right, Channel Zero, Episode 3. This one has taken me a couple days to get to, which sucks, but I've been so busy with Victor Crawley and all these other fucking theater releases and whatnot. So let's get into this episode. I think that this episode poses more questions than it answers, for sure. Obviously the house, or I don't even know what to call this anymore. I guess they're inside the house, so what is the house itself? Is it limbo? Is it purgatory? I mean, that's really where they're leaning with it, that they're basically in some kind of limbo, purgatory. So the house is, I guess, what I will refer to whatever entity is responsible for what's going on. So basically the house, and they kind of basically explain this in this episode, but it's manifesting memories into intangible form, and then it devours them with no history of that person, basically, that it brings into form. I think it's funny because I just watched all 4 houses, and there's a scene in this where she goes into her closet and it basically warps her into water and up in throughout the pool in her backyard, which is basically what happens in the first house movie. Guys, so many new questions asked here, and what are the other people in town? Are they characters that were created by the house? Are they previous people who went into the house that have no memories left, and the more memories that are taken out of them, the less there they are, the less apparent they seem to be? Is it a mixture of both? So I'm curious on that. I really like the garden hose kill. I thought that was cool. We haven't seen a lot of kills in this yet, or gore or anything, which this show isn't really known for in the previous season. We didn't get a ton of kills or cogore, but it was cool. I like the stuck in his mouth and it was spraying the blood out. That just looked cool. The librarian type teacher chick who just kept being shh. That was creepy. I loved it. The dad is an interesting part of this because it's I don't know what to think about him anymore. Did the house just manifest him from her memories? And if so, why isn't anyone eating him? And he's an entity that was brought. Is he like a different kind of entity than the other ones? Why is he the dead one? Why does no one else have one that we know of? And I just sitting there is he actually because if it is the dad, then that would kind of make sense that they're in a limbo type of area where the dead can kind of cross over and they can bring them back. But I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards the house did make him up. I mean, he kind of alludes to that a little bit, but that doesn't really mean anything. He could be lying for all we fucking know, and he doesn't really know anyway, so he's just making it up as he goes along. So that's interesting. For sure. As I said, there's so many questions that are asked here in this episode. Now, one of the biggest ones, obviously, is why. Why is all this happening? What does the house want? Do they gain power from the more souls they take in, and the more that they can eat up their memories and keep them docile, and not have any memories of the past? They won't try to escape, but it's it just poses so many questions, and I'm not sure we're ever going to get to see them answered. But yeah, and then we get to see the borders basically of town, so they're trapped on all sides, and it reminds me of Under the Dome. I mean, that's basically the way they make it look, is like a dome-like structure, and then they can see the house out in the distance, which I'm guessing they'll probably try to get out there somehow in the next episode. Yet again, I mean, we're just dealing with, I kind of just have to accept this at this point, that we're not going to get any kind of realistic reactions out of characters. I mean, none of them react to anything very well. It's just like, really? Like, how fast have you accepted this? Like, you just went through your closet and came out of your pool, and you just saw your mother's fucking face in the trash. Like, she got upset about that, I'm not gonna lie. She did go hide, but I don't know. They're like making out and fucking like less than 24 hours later, not even. And then we have the whole thing of like a duplicate. This other kid, a duplicate of him, kills, the kid, and then assumes his identity, and he starts peeling. And then when I think Sean, right? Seth sees him basically peeling, and all he does is smile and then go back upstairs, suggesting that he was already also replaced. So is everyone in town being replaced? Was the wife replaced? Or is this kind of like a thing? John Carpenter's a thing where you can't trust anyone because they might have already been turned into the house, but then that makes you wonder like why the house wants anybody. Why would there still be people that were there and then some get killed and taken over? Do they eat their memories so that they can become them, as I said, and go back out into the world like a possession kind of thing, where they, and then you've got the ball, which seems at the end to be stealing all of Jules' memories. I mean, you see when it pans back and she's got her hands on, there's like a bunch of different entities in there. I'm guessing that's maybe the memory she's manifesting. Like off of that thing, they're like a few, like almost like the other girl's dad, but like they're all inside that ball, like whatever those things are. And then you see like as it pans back, like 7 pools are like forming, and those are clearly going to bring up people. Now, who's going to eat them and whatnot, I don't know. And why does he need to eat? I mean, that would suggest that he is part of the house, obviously. So yeah, I mean, it's so up in the air, and it's one of those things where at this point it's like, God, I hope things get answered. Not all of them. I don't need every single thing spoon-fed and like, but it's like, come on, like I hope they answer some of this shit. As this goes on, I'm probably gonna just keep posing more questions. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think. I'd love to hear more theories on it. These are all the things I caught in this episode. I'm sure there's other people who caught more. So let me know. Anyway, until next episode.